Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday Tactical or Tactical Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. And so we're going to be talking about, everything tactical that can be used by,
Hold on. Okay, there.
anything can be used by preppers or homesteaders. So check one other thing here. Okay, that's going good. That's going good. All right. And I got Dave of SOP here with me. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any of the others coming in. I know it's Christmas Eve. A lot of people are busy with family. But
What?
so, anyways, so let's see who's in the side chat here. All right, we got Keith Kronk and Die Bullfrog 79, also known as Uncle Al. And we got Jehoiadak Maccabeus. And those are the only ones that have commented so far.
And Jack the Pro.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, he just.
Oh, there he is. Jack the Pro's just popped up. Okay, so hey y'all.
My tablet picks it up about 2 seconds before the StreamYard picks it up.
Yep. Yeah, so I got the live YouTube over on the side here. So, anyways, some of the things that I thought would be appropriate for, since it's Christmas Eve, some tactical things to do. Has to deal with your kids and trying to get them to go to bed so you can get all the presents wrapped and put out and everything, and so you can get to bed on time and get to sleep before they wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mine knows better. Mine knows he doesn't wake me up until I tell him I'm awake.
Yeah, that's good. One of the things that we used to do, and my parents did with us, was they got us up early on Christmas Eve morning and kept us going around busy all day, doing things for them, running around. They had us vacuum the house, do all sorts of stuff, so that by 7:30 we were tuckered. But then they kept us up until 8 o'clock or 8:30, and then and when we were younger, they'd have us running around playing games and stuff. So we'd be really tired. We'd go to bed, we'd crash and go to sleep. And then one of the things my parents did, and we carried it on to ours, was for a little bit, a couple of years, but then my wife cut it out. But it worked when the kids got older. But when they were young, their stockings, we'd put some toys in their stockings and put their stockings on their pillows. So they wake up and, they have something to play with for a couple hours while we slept. I'm not sure how many other people do that, but that was one of the things that we used to do. And I'm going to try to get convince my daughter, she doesn't have it this year, but next year, when the boys are a little bit older, is to go ahead and do the same thing. So put some sort of a moderate sized toy in there, a new toy with a ribbon on it in their room. And that way they'll play around with that for a while before they wake my daughter and her husband up. Hey, Ryder Dust.
And Stringfield Ridge.
And Josh Connor. And cool. So
Jerry.
And so so that's some of the things we would do at night before, the day before on Christmas Eve, to get the kids tuckered out so they'd go to bed on time, they'd go to sleep, and then we'd give them some toys in their stockings, whatever. So when they woke up early, they wouldn't wake us up. They'd stay in their rooms and play for a little while. Okay, so does anybody have any other suggestions out there in the side chat about things they do to control the kid, tactical maneuvers to control the kids?
Mouse traps outside the door. They open door, they step on mouse trap, they scream, go back in their room. No, my son knows that I don't sleep very well. And I'm usually awake long before he is. I just stay in bed because I need the rest, keep my back muscles from spazzing too bad.
Yep.
So he just stays in his room and plays quietly until I tell him, okay, I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
And that, we celebrate Hanukkah, so it's one present a day for 8 days. This year it's from the 22nd to the 30th, so he gets one present every day.
Cool.
So I really don't have to worry about that too much, and all his stuff's kept in my room, and he's not allowed in my room. That's a no-go place for him. NyQuil brownies. Hmm.
Oh,
Benadryl. Chris and Sharon, you're missing out on one of the most enjoyable things that you have to deal with if you don't have any with you.
so Christian Sharon, is that you haven't had kids yet, or they're all grown up and they've moved out? Mine are all grown up. Two of them are still in the house in California, and I'm upstairs at the house in Idaho. So my daughter and her kids are downstairs, so I get to spoil them. The kids, not my daughter and her husband.
Uh-huh, sure. They've all grown up and moved out.
One of the things that we used to do, it was really cool on Christmas back when I was 3 to 9 years old. We'd all go over to my grandmother's house, and then my cousins and all my cousins are up there in Northern California would come over to my grandmother's house as well. And so, yeah, we had, it was a big, crowded living room, and there was a room that was called the long room. That was basically the original farmhouse was built, and then they added a kitchen onto it. And then when Port Chicago blew up back in World War II, they moved one of the houses from there over there, and then attached it to this big, long, 12-foot wide room that where we had all the parties at.
Yeah,
Oh, 11 grandkids. So you get spoiled, them grandkids.
Rider Dust, you may have retracted that message, but it's still up here in the StreamYard part, so we can still read it. And if I wrestle my son, I'll be too pooped. He'll still be awake, and I'll be out. So I'm getting too old to do that on the ground stuff. I just tell him, go play with the neighbor kid for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, and then he comes home and seeing how he didn't drink nothing all day today. He's got a massive headache, can't eat his dinner. Now he's going to bed.
Uncle Al, I did not get a chance. Things have just been busy around trying to get things done. I haven't had a chance to go over to the post office, so I'm going to try to sneak over there tomorrow while we're cooking, while my daughter and her husband are cooking stuff. So I'm going to try to sneak over there and get stuff. And I spent part of the day working on Thomas the Tank Engine. I got a big G-scale train engine, and so I finally got it to run. Now I got to first thing in the morning, I got to get up early and get down there and finish cleaning the tracks to make sure it's all working. So when the boys come out of their room, they get to see the train going around the tree. Crossing my fingers and hoping everything works.
Pencil Eraser does a good job of cleaning those tracks.
Yeah. And what works really good, but I can't find anymore. Remember, you used to have the 2-in-1 eraser, had the pencil on the one side and the ink eraser on the other. That ink eraser is what really cleaned the track good.
Because it's more abrasive.
Yeah. And doesn't fall apart as easy. It's stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I learned that back when I was a kid because I had a Tyco, and it was a Tyco track, and it had a crisscross section for a train track. It actually spanned a full 4x8 section of a piece of plywood, and I got that one year as a kid.
Yeah.
Then my stepbrother destroyed it, and then blamed me for it, and I lost it.
Yeah. When I was 3, I think I was 3.5 on that Christmas. You know how they have those Brio wooden train tracks now? Mm-hmm. Well, back then they were plastic. And every year for about 5 years, I got a set to add to my big box of plastic train track. I got that for, quite a few years. And that's what, was the cool thing there for me, was setting that plastic train track. And I don't know what finally happened to it. I think when one point, my parents were out there throwing a lot of old toys away, and it got tossed. But so right now we're having to. They don't make it anymore, and that's what's so disgusting. Is even the last couple of years they were making it, and the cost of the Brio was like 3 times as much as the other track. I don't know why the other company people wanted to go with the wood. Yeah, wooden sounds cool and everything, but the plastic one is so much sturdier. I've had to repair the Brio track. We got my grandkids here. The curves and the Ys, because of the grain of the wood, keeps, if kids start trying to get it jammed, then try, boom, there goes, it breaks, and we got to glue it back together.
Those
So
plastic inserts just kind of fall out.
yeah.
No, the only thing I remember vividly as a kid was the old Dinglings robots. And some people might not even know what a dingling is, but it was an actual toy. I'm not even sure if you can look that up anymore.
Yeah. Well, the track I had was all plastic because it had it had like button wheels on it with a tack through it. It was that type of material. So basically, it's the same type of wheels that are on the Brio, with the carpet tacks or the upholstery tacks and the type stuff on it there. But it was all plastic track, and so it was. I mean, that stuff. I mean, we'd twist stuff, and we go in the kitchen. We heat up a piece of track that we wanted to bend and get it really hot and make it bend, and we hold our hands in the freezer so it's set up in a different type curve on it. We used to do all sorts of fun stuff with that plastic track.
Hey, Steve. And if you're taking off, Keith, see ya. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Steve. Yep. Snuck out of a Christmas party. Have a Merry Christmas. All right.
All right. I'm going to post a link to the Dinglings if nobody's ever seen or heard of them. As soon as
the only dingling I know about is the Chuck Berry song.
Yep, that's the song.
But yeah, I think I was, I think it was 69 is when I got my first HO gauge train. And I, had my parents had set up a sheet of plywood in my bedroom, and I had the track going around on that, the HO gauge, the Tyco trains. All right, I want to take a look at that myself. Opening a new tab.
Yeah, looking at that advertisement brings back very fond memories. My mom said that's all I could say for 3 straight months was dinglings. When her and my dad went out and bought them.
There we go. It's really slow here.
I do believe that is where they got it, Rider Dust. Roland Homestead, welcome.
Come on. Oh, well.
Is it not working for you?
It came up, but everything's, I got,
Yeah,
it's just having a tough time. There it goes. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, I remember that going around the loop like that. Yeah.
And
I didn't have one. My older brother did. And then later, instead of the robots, they made cars that went on the same track.
Mm-hmm. I was allowed to have weeble wobbles for a while, but then I figured out how to make my very first slingshot and shot my weeble wobbles to the neighbor's yard. I kind of got in trouble for that.
Yeah. Hey, Rolling Homestead.
Because weebles wobble, they don't fall down, and they also break windows. I wasn't a bad kid. I was just trying to learn things.
2 big marbles on a string. Yeah. One of the things, though, that I picked up by accident that works good for calming my grandkids down was an LED light set I picked up over at I think it was Sam's Club. I'm not sure it was Sam's Club or Costco. Anyways, it's 5 of these little lights, and these are magnetic to the base. So you can mount the base of the wall, and the light goes in there. And all you need to do to turn the light on, you just push.
Al.
It's white, red, green, blue, and off. And my oldest grandson, his favorite color is green, and he'll have that thing on green. He'll walk around with it like this and play with it. And, you know, when he's acting up, if I remember to get one and give it to him, he loves it. Now, with the neat thing about it, how I tease him, it's also remote that I can change the colors all around on it with a remote control, and all the lights change. But what's neat about these is I got these. Originally, I was going to put them around the house so that in an emergency, if the lights are off, we could just, you know, and we have lights at the stairs and lights going into the bathroom and around it, because it's a set of 5. But that has not happened.
All right, I'm going to post a link here real quick to something else from our youth.
All right.
So
And
this catches up.
hey, Chad, how's it going? So I just thought I'd do something a little live here, just to talk about. We started out talking about those that came in late. We started about tactical things to deal with your kids on Christmas, so they don't stay up too late and they don't wake you up early in the morning. So, but there are, you know, there's a lot of cool little things. Now, the 3-year-old, this is my wife's emergency light. She keeps it by her bed up here, but he'll get this and he'll play with it like this, and he'll close it as close as he can get to close it before it goes out, and he plays with it so it goes like this. So the 3-year-old loves this little LED light, and so that's another way to keep one of them busy.
That link is to the clackers. I learned how to use them as a bolo.
Yes.
That also got me in trouble. I got some of those for a present, and I was using them, and I watched a Bruce Lee movie and a few other martial arts movie, and realized, boy, I can use these as a weapon. Wrapped them around the neighbor's tree. The neighbor come over and handed it to my dad. My dad looked at me. He says, "You don't need these right now, son."
Yeah, we used to. The one year, all my cousins and my older brother and my sister got them, and so everybody's around going Christmas afternoon. And then my one cousin, who's 3 years older than me, got him, and he was a troublemaker. He was a great guy. But he started going like this. He'd hold off the side, go as hard as he could, and he got it going so hard they actually shattered.
And we wondered why our parents wanted to drink.
Yeah, but hey, we survived Christmas and our childhood.
Yep.
All right.
We didn't have to worry about all this PC crap.
Yeah. We didn't have to have a sticker stuck to our forehead saying, California Prop 65, this may contain, carcinogens.
As a child, we contained carcinogens with everything we were exposed to.
Oh, yeah.
And we're still here.
Yep. So.
See you later, Keith. Hello, team.
All right. Take it easy. Yeah. One of the things I just discovered that I've got a bunch of, and we're starting to use here with the kids, the grandkids like peaches and especially like pears. And my daughter gets the pears in the big cans, not the little soup-sized cans. The next one's up. Problem is, when we open those up, there's more pears or peaches in there than what we really want the kids to eat, because we don't want to be changing those explosive diapers. Found these on come on, pop apart here. Found these on Amazon. These fit those next size larger cans. They're great. Snap that way you can use half the can, snap the lid on. Next day, use the rest of the can. These also fit. These fit tuna cans, and they also fit cat food, pet cans as well. Really cool, neat thing to have in your preps and stuff. If you caught the one video I did, I actually put some of these on over the
Candle?
the emergency candles I was doing.
No, I didn't watch that one.
All right,
question there.
Chad. I am down between Idaho Falls and Pocatello, so southeastern Idaho. So that's where I'm at.
So when everything floods, you're underwater.
Actually, no. When
I'm
the
sorry, I just had to bring that up.
When the Grand Teton Dam broke and flooded down through Rexburg and Idaho Falls and stuff, the town I'm in is 15 feet higher than the river on the east side of the river, but on the west side of the river, it's flat for miles. So I
drained off.
Flat out there. And
I was referring to when the Cascadia Fault goes and causes Madrid Fault to give, and the U.S. is now split by a giant water.
Oh, that bogus
yeah.
U.S. Navy map.
Yeah.
What really cracks me up about that people even believe that, because if you look,
Joe Fox, he's the one that touted it for the last 7 years.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know how to look at the USGS tectonic plate map, where it has the Pacific plate and the come on, brain work. The continental plate. So the continental plate is on top, and the Pacific plate is going under.
Mm-hmm.
And what causes the earthquake on the Cascadia subduction zone is it starts to roll down like this. It sticks to the continental plate. It goes down, then it pops loose. But as this goes through, it's still lifting the continental plate.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got the Sierra Madres. They were lifted up by the Cascadia subduction zone, and the lower portion of the Pacific plate, where as it comes up by Baja California and up California, it's pushing underneath.
Right. I know this. I understand how to read geological maps.
Yeah.
But the biggest concern I have with something like that, just like Tina brought up, is the fact that if the Cascadia releases enough pressure, it can actually cause the plate that we sit on to actually slide westward. And it's only got to slide westward 1/10 of an inch in order for the new Madrid Fault to release the pressure it's got, causing earthquakes here in the center of the U.S. It's a 1 in a million chance of that actually happening, but there is that chance of happening. And where I live out here, just outside of Cincinnati, if, say, St. Louis on the Madrid Fault gets, say, a 9, which is extremely near impossible to happen, but it could, I would feel it here in Cincinnati as a 5.8.
Okay. Yeah, Tina, that quote U.S. Navy map is a fake map. That's a bogus map that somebody put out. The U.S. Navy did not put that out.
Nope.
That is so fake.
And every channel that puts that out as truth, and you tell them it's fake, the hate mail you get.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to worry about in Missouri is the Madrid, and the chances of the Madrid going off when Cascadia goes off is slim.
All right, for the Cascadia to affect the Madrid, it would have to be a 9+ quake on the Cascadia to have that much of a snap of the Cascadia snapping back out, that it would move from the kinetic energy. And the thing is, on the east side of the Cascadia are a bunch of other fault lines. those fault lines
I'll
act
go
as
first.
shock absorbers. But it'd have to be over a 9 for it to be able to pull everything to cause anything back at the New Madrid. All
The
right,
San Andreas fault would give first.
just this week, there was what, three? No,
3.5 plus and 1 4.7, I think.
oh, there was 2 6s up by Howie up at Food Forest up
Mm-hmm.
on Vancouver Island. There were 2 6s up there and a 5.8 and a 5.7. Those. Having lived in California with all the quakes and stuff,
It's just a release of pressure.
yeah, it's just a really, when the numbers go up exponentially. So after you get up to like 6.4, 6.5, now it's getting something to that's makes it starts dropping buildings and stuff in certain areas. But those and that 6 was way offshore.
Hello, Sunny Preps.
So yeah. So we got Tina and Dan M's, Sunny Preps, Jules, Mark Davis, hey. Jerry's Woodshop, hey, Jerry. JT, hey.
Barefoot Lass.
Hey, hey.
It's turning into a party in here.
Yes, it is. Okay. So, yeah.
CJ.
Hey. CJ Blaze. All right. I know you're a great one, so I am going to grab you.
Uh-oh, you're fixing to get raided by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm, come on. I don't want that one. I don't know. Come on, work.
Well, if West Virginia sent you all over here, then yes, it's a love party.
Yeah. All right. So CJ, I just putting you back to work. Just made you another moderator to join my other moderators here, because I saw the great job you were doing over there, sending them trolls off to the land of misfit toys. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool things that apply to both the preppers and the homesteaders. So, all right. Let me go ahead and grab this one here as well. Come on, there we go. Bingo. All right, Josh, I'm giving you a powerful blue wrench too.
You're turning all these people into Smurfs. Next thing you know, we're going to see Gargamel and his damn cat come over here.
Well, we'll just send them off to the land of misfit toys.
Either that or I'll just send my cat Titan after him.
Yeah.
You make her mad, she'll let you know.
Mm.
And
Now, I heard
are still like needles.
I heard that, quote, we're no longer allowed to show freedom sticks on a...
We're not.
We're not? Crud.
No.
Dang it. I just picked up for my son a Marlin 1895 4570 saddle rifle.
I love the old lever actions.
Oh, yeah. All righty. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, that's why when you watch the next video I got coming out this week, and you won't see any actual true freedom stick related stuff. Well, it is kind of, but not really, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No problem, Al. We'll be here.
Okay, that didn't take. Check that again.
Yeah.
Uncle Al's
Jerry,
having problems with his routers again.
What's that, Gil?
Uncle Al's having problems with his router again.
Yep. I can't have any live boomsticks on me walls because they have explosive powder in them, and my housing does not like that.
Okay, let me hit this other one here. Got one other thing to do here, folks. Bear with me a second.
Yes, North Country, there is rules for live streams. They are changing the way things, mainly due to the COPA problems, or COPPA, or Well, yeah, they're copping out, but that's beside the point.
Yeah,
Mead Family Farm, hello.
it's not showing up there. Okay,
What's that?
interesting. All of a sudden, the YouTube portion here. I know what I got to do.
Did you break it again?
Nah, it's my one when I try to do the live using Internet Explorer, for some reason Internet Explorer only allows me to post comments 5 or 6 times before it goes nope. So let's see if this works here now.
Just a second, I gotta yell at the kids. I want to mute myself.
Yep. All right, there we go. Bingo. Haha. So yeah. And it's, the thing is, what's really weird is Internet Explorer gives me more options when I'm working on YouTube on my channel for uploading videos and stuff than Chrome does, which seems stupid because Chrome is owned by Google, which owns YouTube, and it should be have all the bells and whistles showing automatically on Chrome, but it doesn't. So yeah.
Yeah, but don't piss one of them off because you piss them both off.
Yeah.
Excuse my French. I found that out the hard way.
Hey, Cheesehead Cowboy. So for usually for it's been a few years since I actually done it because we've got so much stuff. For quite a few years, my wife and I were giving away tactical stuff for Christmas presents. The little small oil-filled little 1,000-hour candle or 100-hour candle, whatever it is. We gave a bunch of those away. We gave a bunch of these lanterns away, and we gave a ton of these lanterns away. These little lights, you know. Now this is my favorite light because I get it for free at Harbor Freight when I go buy a tarp or anything else because I get a coupon for getting one for free
every month.
And
you gotta just go spend $6 at Harbor Freight and you can get a new one every month.
Yeah, and you get something you need too, like the step drills and stuff like that. One of the things one year we gave away duct tape, and you would not believe how many people say, "Oh, cool! I got duct tape. We got stuff to fix." So there's a lot of cool things to give away. 3 years ago, we gave away the Camelback water bottles because
didn't you realize I'm a long lost relative of yours?
Hey, on our genealogy on my mom's side, I'm related to every royal family in Europe, including countries that no longer exist.
Then you are related to the Dawsons.
I'm not sure. I don't know what all the names are, but I do know one very famous person, or I should say infamous person, that everybody knows who he is. John Lackland, a.k.a. Prince John, brother of Richard the Lionheart. Yeah, so I got a scoundrel in my family tree. Actually, I got two. I also trace back to Constantine. Yeah, Harbor Freight is the bomb. Oop, I shouldn't say bomb.
Yeah, no. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to mute myself and turn my camera off, so I'll be right back.
Okay. So, yeah. Hey, Lori Jean. Yeah, you're heading to bed. You're back east there. Yep. But one of the things that I started before a lot of you came in, we were talking about some tactical things to do with the kids on Christmas. What we do on Christmas Eve, we used to get our kids up early in the morning, wake them up a little early, give them stuff to do, keep them busy all Christmas Eve. And so they would get, by the time they go, 8 o'clock roll around, they were tired and they wanted to go to bed. And then once they were in bed, we'd finish wrapping any presents we hadn't been able to wrap, during the week beforehand and get the stockings all done. And when they were little, we'd take the stockings and go into their room and put it on the pillow next to their bed. And so when they had, that way when they woke up in the morning, there were a couple little toys in there, little Hot Wheel cars or something like that for them to play with. And that way they'd stay in there for another hour or so playing with the toys and eating their candy cane or their Hershey Kisses before they start knocking on the door. Can we come out yet? So yeah, that was probably the best tactical thing we did as far as trying to get a good night's sleep. Because the one year the boys tried to come out at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like, no, get your butts back in bed. So yeah, she said the same thing. Right? So what sort of things did you guys do to keep, tactically wise, to control your kids on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning? Any ideas? I want to see some ideas of for doing things. And we already had the NyQuil brownies and the Benadryl cough drops, and which was well, we're not going to talk about those things. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. Yeah, what's switching your prepared mind? Hey, glad to see you here. But while talking about that, what's amazing is for both for homesteaders and preppers, these little things, the little tea lights, the LED tea lights. They're last a long time. You get, they come in a two pack. Now you can tell the difference between this one here. My grandsons have been playing for months with it, turning it on. This one here is a bit brighter, but on these little 2-packs we picked up, and actually these particular ones we got at Halloween time. We picked them up after Halloween, but they came with 2 extra batteries, one for each one of them. And so we have a bunch of those around. Actually, one year there was a 25-pack on Amazon that went for $5 on the flash sale. You got the timer counts down before it's gone, and I got one of those. And we have several of those in each room in our house in California. And so I got next trip I got to bring some up here. So my parents are now the ones that want the family there early. When kids grow up, it don't wake us up. Now we are out of the house and they want us to open presents at 8 a.m. Yeah, when I was a kid, we'd all head over to my grandmother's house, and we were told not to arrive before 9 o'clock, and presents then would be opened at 10. Because when we arrived at 8, there was a whole bunch of French toast that was done, and everybody could have breakfast. And then at 9 o'clock, and then at 10, we could open presents at my grandmother's house. We used to have all sorts of fun there with that. Yeah, we want the grandkids to wake us up. Well, right now, I'm in Idaho. In the main house, I'm upstairs. My daughter and her family have the downstairs. And so the boys just got put to bed about 40 minutes ago. And so they're running around like, 10 little Indians, and there's only 3 of them. Even the 1-year-old is up and running now. I mean, it's amazing how fast he's trying to catch up to his older brothers. But yeah, they were hopefully very tuckered. They got them to calm down a little before. They read them uh, a little they had some little kids book and a little kids nativity scene, and they had them going through all that while they were down there. And so the kids would actually behave for that because they were already getting tired. And so she put them down. So, but in the morning, I'll be up before the kids are, and I'll just wait until I hear them start. The middle one, Aiden, he'll knock on the bedroom door when he wants out, and he'll sit there and knock and knock and knock. Hey, John, oh, so you're up there and down, or for me, down in Chubbuck. Cool. And so what I'll probably do is, so my daughter and her husband can sleep a little bit longer, I'll bring the boys out and I'll fix some breakfast and take care of them in the morning. But okay. Hey, negotiator. Yeah, we're looking at here 26 and oh, we're at 26 and 26. Okay, cool. But I know we've had 3 people check out and go to bed from back east up in Canada. There's Lori Jean and someone else back east there. I can't remember. I'm sorry, my brain's fried here. I've been working hard all day. But yeah, so anybody else have any other technical ideas for that? Okay. So Merry Christmas to everybody, in case I haven't said it. And I say Merry Christmas. I don't say Happy Holidays, because Happy Holidays is for, Thanksgiving and New Year's. But it's Christmas Eve. It's Merry Christmas. And yeah, that's the way it is. But I read the Krampus X story to the grandkids. You're mean, Uncle Al. You're going to give those kids nightmares for reading Krampus to them. And actually, right now, my middle child, my oldest son, he's probably replaying. He got 1 year for Christmas. He wanted the entire all the seasons of the TV show Grimm, and he's probably playing all the Grimm Christmas shows tonight. He likes to watch that. That's one of the Grimm Christmas ones is the Krampus monster out there. So, hey Tim. So, someone's got the cat out.
Yep. Kids in bed, nighttime prayers are said. Cat's happy at the moment, so all's happy in my house.
Yeah. So, any questions out there? Okay. Okay. Girls over Christmas. Okay. So, anybody have any questions out there? You can fire questions at us. Remember, put them in all caps so it draws our attention. Yeah. Today I spent most of the day filming for a couple of videos on which prepper group should I join. So it's because it was all the information on it, it's going to be, I'm going to have to break up into 2 or 3 videos. So that'll be coming out, this weekend. But the one thing I didn't put in there, and I know this might offend some of the people here, the homesteaders, as the different types of groups there are, I didn't put homesteaders in there under what type of prepper group to join. Because to me, homesteaders is a little bit different than, you don't have people joining a homesteader group to become for preparedness. They join for a lifestyle. And it's, a little bit different thing. But some of the best preppers out there are homesteaders, folks. Because, hey, they're already doing it. They're living off the land. They got the animals. They're, canning food, dehydrating food, making jerky, making all sorts of nice, yummy stuff. So, what we got over here?
Barefoot, no, you do not have to put bleach in it when you first store it. Depending on what you're storing it in and how long you store it, all you have to do is shake it up. If it has a unique smell to it, just put a couple drops of bleach. I think it's 8 drops of bleach per gallon, and you're fine. But you don't have to put it in when you store it.
Yeah. And when you put the bleach in, you shake it up after you put the bleach in. You don't want to drink it right away. You want to let it sit for an hour or two.
Yep.
Now, distilled water. Distilled water has a slight problem with it in that there's no minerals in it, and distilled water is actually, what's the word? It's chemically reactive because pure distilled water, pure H2O,
AJ.
is chemically unstable. It likes to bond to stuff. That's why, when water flows through rocks, it pulls minerals out of the rocks. It breaks stuff down. That's most of your natural spring water is not pure H2O. It has other things in it, and the molecule H2O likes to bond to something else. And it's really evident if you look at a drop of water sitting on the counter, how it kind of domes up, and the surface has that tactile cohesion to it. It's trying to bond to stuff. And that's why, like when you put a drop of soap in it, you see the soap go across the top of the water, and the water feels differently. That's because it's breaking down the molecular attractiveness it has to other things. Distilled water, you really don't want to drink distilled water because it's going to do that same thing to your body. It's going to try to pull minerals from your body, and it can actually pull. If you drink it or gargle with it, on your mouth and stuff, it can affect not only the enamel on your teeth, but can also affect some of the types of fillings, the older types.
I'm looking that up right now, Barefoot.
Oh, okay. Wow.
6.2, 183 kilometers west of Fort Hardy.
Oops, I hit the wrong button there. Opening new tab.
All right, so for that section right now, we've had 7 earthquakes in the last, six earthquakes in the last 7 days.
Yeah, that's on that little wedge shape there. Here, let me pull this over here. All right, so Vancouver Island. So it's on this little fractile plate there. 6.2. Let's see that. So that's still offshore a ways.
And the thing you need to, if you're going to watch earthquakes for a pastime, what you need to watch for is how deep they are. The deeper they are, the less damage they'll cause. The closer they are to the surface, like this last one, 1 kilometer deep, that one will cause a little bit of a ripple. There might be a small, tiny wave created because of it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
But when you watch those, you watch how deep they are. Most of these have been at 10 kilometers deep. This one's only registering at 1 kilometer. So that's getting a little bit closer to the surface.
Yeah, I'm pulling up and using the scale on the map here. It looks like it's about 55 miles from shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Get that a little bit better. Okay, when I zoom in a little bit, it looks more like 60 miles from shoreline, which is still, it's close. It's like Loma Prieta was about 45 miles, 50 miles south of San Francisco.
Hey, Palmetto.
Hey, Anthony. So, but yeah. We'll have to find out if how we
Yes, Jay,
felt
it's
that
part of the
one.
Ring of Fire. Hey, Central
Back
Florida
here.
Prepper. Didn't see you sneak in there.
Okay.
And Teresa K.
All right, that's interesting. Usually USGS sends me an email by now. I haven't gotten an email on it because I have an account with USGS that any international quakes 6.0 or larger, I get an email on. And so that now makes, hang on, let me bring it up here. That's going to be earthquakes 2019, updated December. Okay, that will make number 89 for the year internationally of quake 6.0 or greater, which means we're actually behind last year. Last year was 112.
Well, we went 70 some days without an earthquake of 7.0. No, 80 some days. I'm sorry, 80 some days without one at least a 7.
Yeah, we had this year. There was so far. There's only been 11 that are 7.0 or greater.
And on average, we usually see about 25 to 30. They're usually quite deep and usually very remote, so nobody hears anything about them as a rule.
Yeah, we had one earthquake this year, which was 8.0, and that was northern Peru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a sheet here on the emails I get every time I add it to it. All the ones that are 6.0 and greater. Okay, today's the 24th. So I take that, copy that, put that there. Excuse me while I update my cheat sheet here. 6.2.
No, it's just because somebody else brought it up in chat. It's the only reason we're talking about it.
Yeah. There we go. It's just, well, actually, we would have been talking about this big time on Monday, last night, if Will hadn't chipped his tooth or broke his tooth, because that was the topic of last night's supposed panel we were supposed to have was geologic events. And so we'll probably have that next week. But, yeah, there we go. Get that back. All right.
And for those out there who haven't met Anthony yet, Palmetto Prepared, he is also a homesteader. He just doesn't like to admit it sometimes.
Yeah, and he's a very good cook too. You want to learn about baking bread, man. Anthony has some good videos out on doing bread and pizza. He did two different videos on pizza. One was actually, having everything functional and doing it and doing the pizza. The other one was a disaster type pizza, making it up when everything was. Yeah, you were limited to what you could use.
Hey, Journey North, didn't see you sneak in there.
Yeah, hey.
Steve's got a loaf in the oven now.
Yeah.
You're grounded, young man. You can't leave the house for the next 5 days. Oh, wait, that doesn't bother him any.
That's Anthony's got a loaf in tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm making monkey bread in Dutch ovens. So.
Not me. I did my cooking for the day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's leftovers, and they can get thrown in the nuke box. Get our daily dose of radiation.
All right, Central Florida prepper. My bread comes out as a doorstop or a boat anchor.
My bread comes out and it's gone within like 5 minutes. I can't stop eating it when it's warm. I go through a stick of butter and the bread's all gone.
Yeah. Ken Rollins. I believe I've seen a couple of his videos. Yeah, some of those cowboy cooking videos. Oh yeah. You put on weight just watching the show.
Hey, Cheesehead, With the erosion problem you've had up there in the last couple of years, I haven't been up in that area up off Lake Michigan in a while. I know for a lot of years there was a lot of water. The lakes were dropping. Did they come back up in the last couple of years? I heard somebody say they have, but don't know of anybody that lives up there to verify it. They said the water levels actually come back in the last 2 years.
Sorry, Teresa. We didn't mean to make you hungry. Jay, that was good. That was a good one. Yeah, bake your ballistic inserts.
I'll just send him to Kentucky Ballistics, and he'll put them out on full auto Fridays, and we'll see if it'll hold up.
Or what's the Demolition Ranch does stuff like that too.
Yeah, Matt's too busy rebuilding that ranch of his, so.
Yep. Okay.
That's good, Journey.
So, all right. So probably I'm going to say here for tactical purposes for everybody, both prepper and homesteader, practice OPSEC. Now on YouTube in here, we're not too close to our neighbors too much. So, and usually, most of my neighbors don't watch YouTube. But, you don't want to be, what's the word, flapping your gums to all your neighbors about everything you have. If the topic comes up, always act like Scotty off of the original Star Trek. Schultz. Undervalue what you have.
Schultz. I know nothing.
Now, Sergeant Schultz too. Mm-hmm. But it's like you don't say I got 30 days worth of food. Say I got a week's worth, maybe. Don't go spreading what you have and how great it is. You talk to people. Yeah, I need to get more supplies. I need to say we need to get prepared. Yeah, Anthony, never show your whole hand. Did I say show? Show.
And Jay, nobody wants Johnny Carson's fruitcake.
Grape nuts. I love that cereal.
Mm-hmm. Warm grape nuts.
Yeah. But there's I don't want to say it right without offending anybody. I'm not Steve, so I care about offending people.
I'm not politically correct, but it is your channel, so I'll be nice.
Enough of the people have shelters built, then install in the backyard. Oh yeah.
Actually, Journey, what I plan, I'll go get a link to it. So, but what I plan on doing, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it. I've got something I'm trying to do for the local police department. That's actually going to take a lot of my finances because it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah. The problem is some of the preppers that are if they're in California and they brag about the claymores,
they go to jail.
Yeah. Whether they have or not, they're going to be people. People are going to be freaking out.
The snowflakes will be melting by the millions.
They'll be crying great tears. Oh no, he's got claymores. Oh, sorry. Anyways, yeah. So you want to be responsible. Use prudence and understanding with who you're talking to about what you have and what you're trying to get them to do. Probably the best thing you do to get people prepared, tell them to go take a CERT class, the Community Emergency Response Team class. Because they talk about getting supplies and stuff in the class there.
You guys get a chance, go check out the link I just posted.
I'm gonna
I
put it up
plan
here
on
in a
having
sec.
those on all entry and exit ways in my apartment.
Oh,
And they have them with pepper spray, flashbangs, noisemakers.
yeah. The other thing,
No problem, Jehoda. What is a
something else
claymore,
going back to
Tina?
Harbor Freight, everybody's favorite prepper store.
All right, just a second here. Tina asked what a claymore. A claymore is an anti-personnel landmine. It is a shaped charge. It is aimed toward the enemy, and one side of it is curved towards you, and that's the side you want facing you, and the other side says face toward enemy. The side that's facing toward enemy is full of BBs, very, very big BBs, and there is a piece of shaped plastic explosive behind it. And when they hit a tripwire, it goes boom, and anything within 500 yards is going to get a hole. They are not polite.
Yeah. So, and this here is the inside. Those are all the little BBs in there. All right.
When I was in basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia, they were showing us my first week there. They were showing us what a claymore could do, and I want to say the tree line was like 200 yards back, and the drill sergeant popped it, and we seen red spray. So they shut the range down, and a couple drill sergeants and the range officer walked out to the wood line. They walked to the edge of it. They all started laughing. 5 minutes later, they called us over there, and there was a dead deer there. 200 yards away, it's still lethal. It
Yep.
had like 6 BBs in it. And when I say BBs, they're not truly BBs. They're bigger than a BB.
Yeah. They're like a 9mm bullet going out there.
Yep.
Journey North said, yeah, they are more polite than Bouncing Betties. And Bouncing Betty is a different type of landmine that actually pops up and, yeah.
Yeah, that one goes up in the air and goes up about my neck level. It's about
Yeah.
6 foot high and explodes. And shrapnel comes down in a very conish type. And what is it? 15 yards, I think. Maybe it's not quite that big. Maybe it's only 10 yards. But I think it's like a 30-foot area that shrapnel can affect.
I'm sorry, I'm reading back up here what she said Cowboy said about snowflakes.
No, they do not float in cocoa.
All
Say
right.
hi, Titan.
Hey, Titan.
She's over here attacking my feet.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why. She lost her toy.
One of the things that my parents would do with us, not Christmas Eve, but the day before Christmas
West
Eve.
Virginia.
Yeah, we just brought up 6.2. My parents would take
Thank
us
you,
out
Tina.
which would have been last night, and drive around and look at all the Christmas lights. And back when I was a kid, I mean, when they were using the C9 bulbs, the big ones, and yeah, when you saw a house really lit up with those, you knew their electric meter was going.
They were funding the city council's light bill.
So, yeah, we used to go out and do that all the time back when I was a little kid. So that's back in the 60s.
I remember the old Christmas lights at, what was it, 1970? Let's see, my dad was still alive, so probably 74 or 75. They were about 4 inches long, and they had a little plastic top, and they had a vial of liquid in it that would bubble. No Christmas tree fire starters. They
Yep.
actually banned them after, somewhere around 75, 76, somewhere in that area. I don't remember exactly when, because they started causing tree houses to go poof.
And they brought them back.
Yeah, a little bit safer. They don't get as hot. But
Right. They put a different liquid in it that bubbles at a lower temperature.
yep.
And so, yeah. Yeah, my dad had a set that he had before he met my mom. And basically it was he had a board that had the sockets mounted on it, and he had wired and everything, and those bulbs just screwed into it, and they sat on the mantle, so you had the bubbling lights on the mantle.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like fun, Jay. Better you than me.
Yeah. But that's all right. Here's some information for everybody on common sense stuff to do. Twice a year, you set your clocks forward and you set your clocks back. That's the only thing good I feel about daylight savings time, is it's a reminder. All your smoke detectors, change the batteries. Your dryer, clean out the vent tube on your dryer. Your
No, Jay, I
uh,
didn't.
your fire extinguishers, turn them over upside down, turn them right up a couple times. Gets the make sure it keeps the dry chemical in there from compacting. If you live near a place where you have heavy equipment running or trains going by, and your house shakes a little bit every time the train goes by, yeah, it's packing those down. And you may need to do that, 4 times a year. Uh,
Yes, dryer vent, definitely.
yeah.
They actually make
Also,
nice little brushes at Harbor, or not Harbor, but Home Depot and Lowe's that you can stick on the end of your drill, and they make attachments so you can make it as long as you need to. I recommend cleaning your dryer vent every 3 months.
okay, I'll get right to that, Jehoiadak, in just a minute here. The also the above your stove, the vent, hood range, it has the vent. Clean the grease out of the trap filter trap there for the air going through it. That needs to be cleaned twice a year.
I do mine every 3 months personally,
All right.
but that's from having worked in a restaurant, so I'm a little
Yeah.
more particular about it.
So those are the main things to touch on that need to be done. So it's getting close to Christmas time. That's something to do. If you want to see a video, I'm going to see if I can find it here real quick. I got it saved up separate. I'm going to try to find it on YouTube here. Trying to remember what it's called. Okay. Christmas tree fire. See if it brings it up here.
Red or Dust. When I was in basic, we had a chance to play with claymores a little more in depth, and
Yeah,
yeah, I like to hide mine in more mischievous ways than everybody else did, and I kind of got in
here it
trouble for
is.
taking my own path to doing it. I was told this is an army of one. Now it's
Okay, that's
advertised as an
not the
army of one.
exact one, but this will scare you just as good. I'll put this one up here.
1985.
All right. Okay, the link I just threw up in there. Open it in a different tab. Open in a new tab. It's about a 90-second one. You can watch it later, or you can watch it on, if you have enough where you can watch 2 things at once. You can watch it now. But that's one of them. Worse, there was another one that they use as part of the training for this in the CERT program, and it generally also has a. Let me see here. That's what that went wrong.
No, Jay, back in '85, actually in '85 when I was going through basic, that was when they got rid of the OD green uniforms and went to the camo. And you were not all you could be. You were a member of
There
a
it is.
collective unity. Now,
Okay.
back then it was, they weren't advertising it as an army of one like they do now. Now they advertise it, be all you can be. You're an army of one now. You have the right to do what you want, basically. Think as you need to. Where back then you were smacked if you thought anything outside of what they
Yeah.
deemed reliable.
Okay. The second link I just put up here. This is the official um, video from where is it here? The National Institutes of Standards and Technologies, Department of U.S. Department of Commerce, and this tree fire here. This is a 1 minute video, and so if you guys put it up there, it's a dry Scotch pine tree fire, and it's ignited by a broken light bulb. And this tree is totally engulfed in 5 seconds. The room ceiling temperature is over 1,000 degrees in 10 seconds. And by 17 seconds, you can see the material on the couch is peeling off. And at 25 seconds, a lamp on the other side of the room melts. A lamp. And then at 33 seconds, a firestorm begins to start in there, the cyclonic. And by 40 seconds, it's going really fast and you can't see anything anymore. That's a real safety tip about trees. And that's one of the reasons why they've been pushing so hard on the LED lights, because you don't have that problem. Even the mini Christmas lights get hot.
Mm-hmm.
The mini Christmas lights, what we use them for at our house, we put them outside. We get the indoor outdoor ones, but we put them outside on the orange tree, the lemon tree, the
High moisture content trees.
all the citrus trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put a sheet over the tree, and it keeps them from the frost from freezing the trees. Just that one or two strings of lights provides all the heat you need to help on a minor frost night.
West Virginia, what happens is people don't put water in the bottom of their live trees, and their trees literally dry out. And that's the bad thing about an evergreen tree. You can't tell it's truly dry right away because they don't turn brown right away.
Yeah.
And, when you don't keep it watered, it dries out, and it's just all it is fat wood waiting to get caught on fire.
Exactly.
Once it starts, it's up in smoke in no time.
Yeah. One of the things you can do is they actually sell little packets that you put in the water when you first get the tree home, and that helps it, stimulate it so it sucks more water up in.
Right.
Now,
It stops the sap from coagulating at the very end of the trunk.
Yeah. The other thing too is on your to realize about your Christmas trees. If you're buying your Christmas trees, wait and say, I'm going to buy my Christmas trees just a couple days for Christmas, and that way it's still going to be fresh. No, they cut all the Christmas trees within a week before Thanksgiving. They actually
I used
start
to haul
cutting
them.
them.
I can tell you where they come from.
Yeah, they I know the ones up in the Christmas tree farms in California. They start cutting before Halloween.
Yep.
All right, so
people
that's
start buying them right at Halloween.
yeah. So you have by the time Christmas comes around, those trees have been cut for over 2 months. Yeah. So if you're going to get a Christmas tree, the sooner you get it, the sooner you get water to it, and get it taken care of, the less of a fire hazard it's going to be.
Yeah, most people, when I was a kid, we put bare aspirin in it or sugar water mix or something in it. I don't remember exactly. I do remember Mom putting bare aspirin in it, but I don't remember what else she put in the water. But yeah, that's all she did. And all that does is basically help it stay moisturized, and the extra content of the stuff stops the sap from running down to the bottom and plugging where it was cut, because that's the way trees operate. That sap's going to where it's cut. Even if it's cut and it's basically dying, the sap will run down to the bottom and plug it, and the stuff you put in the water stops that from happening, allows it to keep sucking up water.
It's like putting an anticoagulant on a wound.
Yep.
Now, the other thing, guys, if you want to be sneaky about it,
Ouch.
go in the summertime to your nursery, buy a small blue spruce tree, put it in they have those big tubs that are like a 55-gallon barrel cut in half, plant it, and just bring it in the house after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, and take it back outside next year, bring it in the house.
I know where to start.
Hey, Kathy.
Thanks for stopping in.
And so, having a live Christmas tree that you can bring in and out of the house, and then you just keep trim it like you would a hedge and keep it shaped all the time, and that'll last you. We had one that went 10 years before it got too big and woody, that we had to switch up and start using another one. But that's probably the safest way. If you want to have a live tree and have the smell, have a live planted tree that you bring in, and it just works a whole lot better.
We don't have a tree here, so I'm not worried about it. If I want the smell of pine trees, I'll go out and buy a can of pine scented air freshener.
In my apartment, they had opened up the dryer and pulled out about a bowling ball size wad of lint. Yeah.
That's not good. That's a fire waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah. And you wonder why it was taking 2 hours to dry your clothes?
I've had my neighbors complain, my dryer's not working. My clothes are still hot and wet. And I said, you better call maintenance and tell them to come clean your dryer vents, because I don't feel like losing everything I own because you don't do it and the place catches on fire. And so I usually wind up having to call maintenance myself to make sure that they've called them in, because they're usually too lazy.
Yeah. Dryer vents is probably, I can't remember the statistics, but the dryer vent fires are not that uncommon.
Especially in apartment complexes, they're very common.
Mm-hmm. So,
Rider Dust, I did my OSET training, which is one station unit training. It wasn't basic and AIT. I did both at one shot.
I used to haul trees. They're cut the first weekend of November. Yeah. The ones in California are cut earlier because they ship them out to the Midwest, out there to Kansas and Oklahoma, and so they start cutting them, before Halloween.
Hey, Gunslinger.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Gunslinger.
Yeah, when I hauled them, we hauled them out of Michigan, and when I hauled them out of Michigan, we'd pull them out in early to mid-November, and then we'd make a second run beginning in December, and they would go to Wisconsin, Illinois, Georgia, Florida, Washington, D.C. Yuck.
Yeah, Tim Fergal said, fake tree, make a wreath for the fragrance. Yeah, a lot of people are getting the artificial trees and stuff, and especially the ones that are pre-lit, have the lighting in it with all the fancy, changes colors and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's kind of neat. And actually, my daughter has one of those, but I don't know. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I loved going out and getting a real tree.
West Virginia, as sassy as you are, I don't see you having a single bit of problem pulling in the tree. After it doesn't move the first time, you'll start cussing. That tree's going to run in front of you. It's not going to wait for you to move it. It's going to run.
Okay, sorry, I'm losing it there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the 1 year we did this only 1 year the entire time in my life, and I think that was okay. That was we were in Southern California, so that was about 72. We got a tree that had the spray-on flock, and it was blue spray-on flock. And I don't know why we got that, but it appealed to me and my three brothers, and we all just like, yeah, let's get that. And my dad went and said, yeah, okay, and my mom just kind of rolled her eyes and relented. But that was a cool tree until we tried to move it outside after. And it was all these like dust bunnies just falling off it as we tried to take it outside. But
Let's talk about prepping. Welcome.
hey, all right. Hi, Tyler. Yeah, I liked your last video there tonight, Tyler. That was a good one. Let me check something here real quick. I'm just checking something here real quick, folks. Excuse me. Okay, that looks
Time's up.
good there. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, the holidays from actually even from Halloween on through the new year, you know, everybody really needs to be safety conscious because with all our things we have for lights and doohickeys and everything going on, a winter fire is no fun. A fire anytime is no fun, but especially in the wintertime is no fun for a family.
Well, they've updated that 6.3 that happened a little bit ago. Now they've dropped it down to 10 kilometers deep, so it's no longer listed as 1 kilometer deep.
Yeah. See what this says here. Yeah, 6 point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my USGS page just changed. So it being 10 kilometers deep is probably a lot less. They probably didn't even feel it,
No.
on land. Because I checked with Howie. I asked Howie about it. He hadn't felt anything on any of the others.
Yeah, and I didn't see any tsunami warnings. At a kilometer deep, should have been a tsunami warning at that
Yeah.
range, and there was nothing. So I figured it would be updated.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let me check this thing here. Yeah, there is my email. It came out as a 6.3. Yeah. And it says, pull this up here. Yeah, so anybody can sign up for the to get earthquake warnings, and you can set what size you want to receive notification at. You can set it to receive all of them, which I do not recommend.
I have mine set at 5 or above.
I have mine set at 3.6 or above for the U.S. and 6.0 or higher for international. And so that way, when you have like the ones down in Chile and South America that are up close to 8, I'm not getting all these 5.5, 5.8, 5.9 ones aftershocks they get.
And you're right there, Gunslinger.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. So if you have a insert, which Dave had mentioned earlier, or not Dave, who mentioned that? It was Jay. Jay mentioned in the side chat. But if you have a wood burning stove, insert potbelly stove, pellet stove, whatever you want, you need also to get your pipes cleaned.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will. Hey, good to see you there. Are you feeling any better? Tooth okay now? Or are you still waiting to go to the dentist? All right. So that, reduce that down. Yeah. So, we had when I lived in the 2 years I lived in Arizona by the north rim of the Grand Canyon, the only heat we had for the house up there was an old fashioned potbelly stove. And we had a 6-inch flue pipe that went up from it. It went through the wall into the one bedroom, turned, went through the wall into the next bedroom, and then went up. And that's how the house was heated. And the potbelly stove itself sat in the dining room. And there were times when halfway through the season, my brother would start tossing a bunch of small pieces in there, and left the bottom grate open, and the having the damper up above open. And in about 5 minutes, we start hearing this, like a rumbling sound, and we look over, and the stovepipe coming out of the stove was red hot. And we go over and shut everything down, But what happened is it would get so hot, all the soot and everything going up there would catch, and it would be red in the bedroom, it'd be red in the other bedroom, and yeah, we'd shut that thing down quick, and then had a little spray bottle of water and be spraying it on the pipe so it didn't catch, causing a fire or anything.
When I was a kid, that was the first thing we did every late September, first week in October. Is I'd get up on the roof with a chimney sweep and sweep our chimneys. That was my job as a kid.
Yeah.
Very dirty job.
Good. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.
Red or dust, most places don't check dryer vents, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's not even on their radar scope.
Oh, I actually have to threaten calling in the health department, because if there is a violation that can cause fires, the health department here at least wants to know about it, and then they'll contact the housing management and ask,
Yeah.
why aren't you doing it? Because it is such a fire hazard.
Yeah. The back in California in Contra Costa County, Consolidated Fire District is big on that. And if there is an apartment fire and they can trace it to the dryer vent, they slap the property management company and the property owner of like a $5,000 fee to start with. Boom, fine, $5,000, and now we're going to go see how much more we can jack onto it. So, yeah, fire safety in the wintertime is, very, very much a concern that everybody should have. And she's getting rid of their fire insert he has. Current thing weighs 500 pounds for a newer one. Oh, on fireplace inserts and stuff, what you can do so you don't have to worry about the electricity, they have those really cool heat generated fans that run off of the heat from the fireplace and stuff. Put a couple of those on there. They got them on Amazon, and it's sort of like a reverse induction fan. And as a fireplace, the insert gets hot, it causes the fan to go around.
Hey, Jay, that's what we did at my house when I was a kid and we lived off a lake up in Michigan. We didn't block off per se the entire fireplace itself, but we put a wood burning stove on the back side and put a hole into the chimney itself so we could run the wood stove behind the fireplace. We only used the fireplace in extreme cold air. We just kept a piece of 1-inch plywood on the front of the fireplace itself so the draft wouldn't come through. But if we needed to use it, all we had to do was move that piece of plywood and actually have access to the fireplace as well. So your idea, in my opinion, isn't stupid. It's actually pretty smart.
Yeah. Uh, Anybody got any questions or suggestions on safety stuff for the wintertime here? Would fill the wood stove, open it up till it glowed red when you shut off the lights. She tried clothes.
That's one way to dry them.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah. Not only do you dry them, you press them at the same time. They dry so fast they turn into stiff boards.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I didn't like about
No, Josh.
wintertime with the not having a closed dryer and having to hang them up to dry.
Well,
And
Jay, just go ahead.
we had clothes hanging all over the house, and yeah, and they got stiff as a board. Unlike out on the clothesline where the wind would blow them around and keep them loose, you just hang it up to dry. They got stiff.
As far as icicles on your roof to save your gutters, there is an old trick I learned a long time ago. Um, get a hold of your girlfriend or wife, and if you don't have said, go to the store and buy a pair of nylons, like in the egg, and take regular rock salt, make little sections of what I did is I usually made them about a foot long. I'd put in some salt, tie it off, cut it, make another one, and I'd put those in high ice formation areas, not in the gutters, but on the roof line itself. So in between, where you got two roof lines coming together, I'd put one of those there. That keeps it from building up ice in that section. Also allows your eaves to drain.
Yeah. I came across some really cool stuff here in Idaho. The Ace Hardware here sells it. Besides selling all the sodium rock salt stuff for your driveways, they get this byproduct from whiskey making, and it's granular just like the rock salt, but it doesn't corrode or anything. And I've been getting that, and I just sprinkle that out, and it melts the snow as good as, if not better than the rock salt.
Yeah, the reason I use rock salt on the roof is it takes longer for it to disintegrate. Therefore, your little stockings that you put up on your roof last a lot longer. The smaller the particle of salt, the faster it dissolves. So when you use rock salt, it lasts a lot longer. You only have to do it once or twice a year.
Okay, everybody's giving Will things to help him his tooth stop hurting. I think Cheesehead Cowboy has the best one. I don't drink, but I think that'd probably work the best. Put a little baby bottle nipple on that bottle of bourbon and just suck on it during the night.
Clove oil is one of the best things. Actually, you don't even have to have clove oil. Just go to your cupboard and break out a piece of clove. Natural clove works wonders. And hey, Jay, tell your dad you consulted with a group of couch experts and your ideas are no longer stupid. They are top notch. Just tell him you consult with a bunch of experts. I mean, we're on YouTube. We're experts, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we're up on YouTube here. We're on a panel. We're experts.
We stayed at a Holiday Inn a few years ago.
I guess staying in Motel 6 doesn't count, though, does it?
No, they didn't leave the light on for me last time I stayed at one, so.
I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't think Stringfield Ridge is still in here. But one of the homestead channels back east there was going over a whole bunch of different things and was testing out stuff for relieving the pain of a toothache. And I can't remember what it was. It wasn't clove, but it was something else. And they mixed it up and then rubbed it on it. And a couple minutes later, it was like, my jaw's numb.
There is one thing that's on the market, and it's called Red Cross toothache medicine. It's a little teeny bottle.
Hmm.
and it has a lot of clove in it. You don't want to use a lot of it because it will destroy the enamel on your teeth if you use it for too long. But it'll numb it and disinfect it to where you can get into a dentist and get it taken care of.
Yeah. And then of course there's always the stuff they have for kids when they're teething to put on their gums and stuff. Begins with an A.
Ambisol
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
work worth
it.
a damn. Might work for the baby. It never worked for me.
Yeah.
I was fortunate. Charles never really teethed. I never had to use it. Charles was a good baby. He went to bed early. He never teethed. He was never colicky. He never woke up in the middle of the night. I was fortunate.
Yeah, my Daniel, my youngest grandson, um, he's let's see, he's a year and coming up on 2 months here now. He just has two teeth in the bottom. We're all waiting for usually all the other kids by now they got six teeth in there. So we're waiting for the other four to pop in. But, every now and then he'll just start drooling like a I don't know what, but, the other teeth are popping in. Nope. Then a couple days later, he'll drool a whole bunch for the day and then nope. But he's not screaming his head off about it.
What I meant, Jay, was that he never went through teething problems. He's got a mouthful of teeth. He's lost a few already, and no, I didn't knock them out. That's why I thought about it a few times, but he lost them naturally.
All right. Tim says that oregano oil works with sore teeth as well.
Never tried that.
Yeah, my younger brother teeth really bad. And actually it was after Christmas when he was born on
All right, take it easy, Palmetto.
the 14th. So the next year, just after Christmas, we moved from Southern California to Northern California. And so my dad was driving the truck. My mom was driving the 57 Chevy. She had my brother in her lap driving up over the grapevine with a finger stuck in his mouth, was trying to massage his gums as he bit down on her finger while he was teething.
Ouch.
Yeah. That was before they had, she knew about, any sort of, stuff to put on in the baby's mouth for helping them while they're teething. Night, Anthony.
And Jay, no, we're high tech. I use a drone and fishing line. I land the drone, tell them to look up, take off with the drone, and out it goes. We're high tech here.
I'm sorry, you just reminded me of one of my favorite movies, The Santa Claus, where they're up on the balcony with this is the toaster chip. It works really good. So, Will, did you get enough suggestions to how to help alleviate a little bit of that pain? Well, we've hit an hour and a half.
Yep.
All right. Anybody have any last minute things from the side chat that you want to talk about before I cut it off?
Will, that's not an option.
Will, that's what Anthony said about that was the clothes. That's what kept him from shooting himself.
No, you haven't experienced pain until you have an abscess that your face falls up the side of a basketball. That's intense.
Getting a root canal done.
Not as bad. I've had both. I'd rather have the root canal over a damn abscess.
I know when I had my wisdom teeth pulled out, they had to split two of them. And they, fortunately, the doctor knew that that my dentist was giving me double the Novocaine because I was resistant to the Novocaine. And so he just put me out and worked on it and stuff. And then gave me something, a shot when I woke up. And then when I went home, I was feeling okay. Well, I can go to work tomorrow. I was at work about 2.5 hours when all of a sudden all the medications wore off.
Yep. You start climbing up wall. All right, Gunslinger, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in.
All righty. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now. I'm going to do 8 o'clock again on Thursday. And I'm only going to do an hour on Thursday, though. And then hope to see you then.
Words. Good night, Alice.
All righty. In broadcast? Yep.